seems to be a topic that a lot of us end up dealing with at some point, especially if you put long tubes on your car. And I hear and read a lot of people talking about O2 sensors, and some people kind of don't really, I guess, understand the difference between like upstreams and downstreams, and why certain fault codes come on, and how to fix certain things. It's just the whole ordeal with O2 sensors on these cars. And, you know, if you're buying your car, you're going to run into it probably at some point or another. So I kind of need to clear the basics out of the way. So if you really already kind of know about cars, maybe this first portion isn't very important to you. You probably already know this stuff, but I have to kind of talk about it because there's some people that don't know this stuff. So I need to clear the air first as far as O2 sensors and go over the basics real quick. The road, man. So I'm actually on my way to pay a ticket. Not a speeding ticket. I don't get speeding tickets. For getting to turn my headlights on for 2 seconds after I pulled out. Bullshit, 75 bucks. But I gotta pay it, so whatever. Man, it's always something, isn't it? Almost all modern cars have 4 O2 sensors. Upstream sensors and downstream sensors. Okay, your upstream sensors are responsible for determining your car's air-fuel ratio. Very important. I hear people talking about putting defoulers on their upstream O2 sensors to get rid of check engine lights. No, it doesn't work that way. You don't put defoulers in your front upstream O2 sensors. So the two in front are upstream. The downstream sensors are responsible for determining whether or not your car is emissions worthy, whether or not it has catalytic converters on it, it's filtering exhaust gases out properly. So if you, I guess the most common thing people run into when you do cat deletes or headers, or you just get rid of your cats or off-road pipe, whatever you want to call it, the first 2 codes are probably going to pop up are PO420 and PO430 for catalytic efficiency, which are being detected by your downstream sensors, noticing that there's no exhaust gases being filtered out. So that is when you get defoulers. Defoulers are going to trick your O2 sensors into thinking that there's more oxygen in there, that the air has been filtered, so that you won't get a check engine light. I've heard of bad defoulers not working. People put them on, they still get a check engine light. I want to reference and shout out a video, DeadPull 37. Okay, so let me give a shout out to DeadPull 37. He talked about this in a video, and I also want you guys to check out his exhaust setup because his car sounds sick. Him, Brent, and I think Marty Garcia all have basically the same setup, and it's amazing sounding setup for your 3.7 liter. So his exhaust is listed in the description. Plus he talks about defoulers and the ones that he used. So definitely check out and subscribe to DeadPull 37. I'll leave a link in the description. You guys head over to his channel and give him a sub. He's a cool guy. Plays guitar too. Really good at guitar. I've known this guy for a while. So yeah, definitely check him out. So defoulers, if you want to get rid of your check engine light because your tuner won't turn them off because it's illegal to disable emissions components on cars, some tuners will still do it. Most nowadays won't because a lot of people have just been getting hit with some big fines. Oh my God, can we please go? So if you don't want the check engine light and your tuner will turn off, and get defoulers for your downstream O2 sensors. Now, the biggest problem, which is going to affect performance, gas mileage, and everything else, is your upstream O2 sensors. I see most people that get headers, especially BBK long tube headers, end up dealing with this problem. There's probably about 6 different fault codes mainly that you'll see. I'll throw up a picture right now of the fault codes that I just got on my Mustang, and it started running so bad. Oh my God, this thing was sputtering and stalling, and here I'm going to show you also what the car was doing. This is how the car was running. Oh, there it goes again. That's what's happening when you need O2 sensors. Look, right now, look at it. Yeah, not very good. Not good at all. So when you get these codes, the first way to start trying to figure out if it's an O2 sensor or not, or maybe sometimes it could be extender harnesses, because if you run the BBK long tube headers, you have to run the extension harnesses. And what will happen is you'll get corrosion inside that connector, which can either cause the O2 sensor to go bad, or it can just cause a poor connection, which will trick your car into thinking that the O2 sensor is bad. So the first step will be to check the connector and make sure there's no corrosion in there. If you have a O2 sensor that's out on one bank, how to tell if it's that sensor or not is to swap that sensor with the opposite bank that's good and recheck your codes. If your codes say that your O2 sensor problem has moved to where you moved that O2 sensor, then you know that's the issue. I have to go pay this ticket, so I'll be right back. All right, paid my ticket. Feel better now. That's over and done with. So, where was I at? Okay, so yeah, my car, those are the fault codes I had. That's how it was running. Both of my sensors went out. That's why it was running so bad. Usually what will happen if you have one sensor that goes bad, it will just use the other sensor to get readings. But if you don't fix it quickly, more likely than not, that other sensor is going to go bad too, because it's going to be overworked. So basically what happens when your O2 sensors go out like that, your car still runs. You get terrible gas mileage. The reason why is your car defaults to running rich. It does that because it can't determine your fuel ratios properly. It does not want the car to run lean, because obviously that's very bad for the car. So it starts dumping more fuel in to make sure that it runs rich, so that way it doesn't exactly damage anything on the engine. So that's why you get worse gas mileage. That's why your car runs like shit. So here's my car. I took it to the shop yesterday, so my girlfriend's dad's shop. And I had purchased 2 O2 sensors from AMR, Auto Mafia Racing. If you guys need O2 sensors, I'd recommend getting from here, because this is like the cheapest price I found. They're $77 each. It's not too bad at all. And so they're real easy to swap out. They're so easy. I guess some people have had problems with them kind of getting seized in there. If that's an issue, sometimes you end up having to re-thread it too if they don't come out, and you have to kind of heat them up and dig them out. But fortunately, mine came out right here, as you can see, no problem. We put the new ones in. It took probably, not including lifting it up in the air, about 5 minutes, if that. And immediately, as soon as I got the car back down and started driving it, it was night and day difference. Complete night and day difference. The car ran so good, so much better than it was before. My gas mileage went back up from 17 to 23. It sounds better, it runs better. I do have a check engine light that came back on for PO420 and PO430 though, because I don't have defoulers in the back, because I'm not too worried about a check engine light. When it comes time to pass emissions, I will put those on, because that will get me through emissions. I'm not giving you emissions advice on how to pass emissions without a proper emission setup. I'm just saying that's what I may do. Not saying I'm going to. Not doing anything illegal. So, things to look for with O2 sensors, problems it can cause. So sputtering, check engine light. If you get a check engine light, check the codes. If you already have a check engine light on for no cats, so if you have like the downstream sensors going off, still check your, at least once every couple of weeks, put a scanner on it, make sure there's no other codes, because just being proactive can really save yourself a lot of money. Especially like I didn't get my problem fixed right away. I knew there was a sensor that was going out, and I waited, and eventually both sensors went out, so it cost me another $77 instead of fixing it right away. And not only that, just other things like misfires and other problems, crank cam sensor codes that can come up, things like that. You want to catch that before it becomes a bigger problem. I guess I'll throw this in here too. I've talked about this in a previous video from a long time ago about headers, and it was how to fix some of the issues that you get when you get BBK long tube headers. So if you want to go the extra step and correct any problems that you may have in the future, or prevent problems, I guess you could say, that you may have with O2 sensors in the future, what you can do is plug up the original hole for the Upstream O2 sensors on BBK long tube headers and drill a hole in one of the chambers about 4 inches, maybe about 4 or 5 inches upward before the collector. And this way you can avoid having to run extender harnesses. You may have to unplug the factory harness a little bit. I believe there's a clip on the transmission, but it will reach if you do that, and you'll get better readings, and you will not have to deal with replacing O2 sensors as often, and just to basically avoid a lot of the problems, complications that BBK long tube headers do give you. Again, thanks for watching the video, guys. Please drop a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thanks for watching.